listening to?
I was listening to the versus battle, the Locks and Dipset last week.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, they said Dipset got slaughtered. No?
They shouldn't have came.
Really?
They shouldn't have even did it.
That
was just it's like putting Babyface up against somebody that don't really sing like Babyface.
Right.
It was just a mismatch all the way. It was no good, no bueno. Kids got destroyed and maybe careers lost over that.
Yeah, I saw that. People was clowning them on
Facebook?
Yeah, all social media.
Yeah.
They coming for the 7 o'clock show?
Yeah.
All right. So I guess after about half hour, we'll take a quick break.
You do what?
Just play some music for a few minutes.
Okay. No, I didn't. I don't know. We never took a break since you've been here.
Yeah, I know. But when you by yourself, it's kind of hard to just talk for a straight hour.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that. Like, you do what? Yeah. Like, no, I got you. No problem. I'll put some music on. Try something.
Yeah. Just for like a few minutes.
Oh, where did he put this real bad? TP, what did you do to me? He put a new program in here and I can't find it in here. I haven't been here in 2 weeks.
You went away?
Huh?
You went away?
No, you wasn't here. I was here 2 weeks. You wasn't here, then me and the guy on the 7 o'clock show did a show. And then you wasn't here last week and nobody came, so I wasn't here for a week. Well, I wasn't here on Saturday before that. Because my wife has, her mother's elderly. So sometimes she got to go to New York to take her mother to the doctor and stuff. So last Saturday she had to do that. She left on the Friday night. Not this Saturday that passed, the Saturday before that. This week TP didn't do a show, so I didn't even know I was coming.
Right.
Now, how am I going to get someone though? It was on a minute ago, but it ain't on.
Oh, the thing you was watching?
No, Facebook.
That's not fair. Let's help some teachers. Good idea, bad idea. You guys tell me. explain this, okay? Because this is really touch and go. You know, she's not another best. She ain't gonna take best place. No,
I don't want to do that.
You have a new happy part of your life. You have
Yes,
something.
yes.
What is that?
Well, you know, my Beth passed over a year ago. One day I was praying.
You put the show title in there?
Genesis.
Yeah.
I looked down and it was
You
reading.
want to change?
So I was trying to
Yeah,
find
let's
out
change it to what's hot.
You know, she's up there in the
So
pages and
hot
stuff.
topics.
I'm down here bawling every day.
What the hell?
And I read the Bible said in the Old Testament, Genesis, for God does not want a man to be alone. And so I started saying, uh-oh. If Beth was left here and I went to heaven, as long as it was a Christian and he owned an airplane, I would approve it. So, my Francie doesn't own an airplane, but she's a great Christian, so God gave me a second chance.
How did you know she was the right one?
Well, when I asked her first date, she said, yeah, you go to church. So I got in the church in the pew and tried to grab her hand, and she couldn't shuck it off. I said, okay, round one. And then the worship service started, you know, and she raised her hands and started praising the Lord. And I said, Mom, look at here. Look, Mom. And so I was crying because she was crying, the whole church was crying, and she came back and stood next to me. I grabbed her hand, she squeezed. I said, gotcha. Really, that's true. So from there on, it just.
You get engaged. What was that like? And when did you know that you wanted to get engaged?
Well, I'm an older guy, bro. You know, one of my days is like 45 or 50 of yours. So I knew right away, I'd been in love, right? And I knew right away that this was love. And of course, I'm fast, right? Like you do. And I knew that I didn't have to go any farther. So I'd never heard of getting down on one knee. And she made me do that, you know, and I kneel for the cross and stand for the flag. And she's like, you know, so I knelt down and said, Francie, would you marry me? And she said, yes. We'll pick a date later.
How do you have your new fiance and you love her, but at the same time, you still think that you honor her? How did you honor her this year?
Well, after, it was a while back, but a year after passing, you know, biblically, there's a lot of things that something happens, right? So every Father's Day, usually, we would fly from Hawaii to Colorado, and she would go down the Platte River on a tube, and she would love it, right? And so this time I sent the tube and sent her off. And Francie was there, my kids were there, and then I Google almost everything anymore. My new college education. And it said that to do that once a year. So we all said on this date, June 26th, we'll do that. And Francie has a date, December 30th, left right after Christmas. So we honored those dates, and we don't feel guilty, but it's kind of strange. But, you know, we're in love, and I know I say all the time, Matthew, I'm glad you provided me with a Francie, because somebody's all this.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure Bob, Francie's ex-husband, she never heard him say a swear word. And I says, oh my God, wait till she gets a load of me.
Will your wife be going out on the road with you?
Well, let me explain this, okay? Because this is really touch and go. You know, she's not another best. She ain't gonna take best place. No,
I
but
don't want to do that.
I took her out to take notes in West Virginia.
Yes.
Number
I
one.
wanted to see what he did. And I hadn't watched the show. And I didn't want to because I wanted to know him. I didn't know who he was already, but I didn't watch because I wanted to me, not